Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel, Celebrity Royal News. I'm your Royal News reporter here with Sasha, and we're going to do a reaction video today to Lady C. She's talking about the missing millions from Archewell. That's the charity foundation, so-called. It is run by Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle. And, there's been a lot of headlines lately in the news, of course, of mismanagement of charities related to Naomi Campbell. And this is really bringing to light a lot of the things that we've been learning, those of us that have been following along with the ever since, the so-called Megxit. A lot of this Archewell stuff has been ongoing. I've heard numerous videos that have revealed many kind of discrepancies or omissions, or the things that didn't add up and caused people to question it. And here, Lady C, who's also very knowledgeable because she's involved in charities, and she knows, from her own firsthand experience, and as well as being somebody who, having been involved with charities, also deals with the financial aspect. She's very fiscally knowledgeable as well. So let's hear her discuss it without any further delay.
I do have a genius accountant, and he has been checking things out for me, as some of you will know, including SSP, who says, Lady C, what do you make of the Mail on Sunday's story that Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation could be in big trouble with the US authorities because several $1 million is missing from it? Are they implying that Harry and Meghan are in danger of being investigated for misappropriation of their charities' funds?
Like
Good
Naomi
question.
Campbell just was. So it's a relevant question.
A possible interpretation. Didn't you cover all of this earlier this year? I certainly did. I seem to remember that you did. I did.
Go subscribe to her channel. She covers a lot of this good stuff.
Twice what the Mail are alleging. Your comments, please. Yes, my accounting genius came up with the fact that, if I recall correctly, the 2022 accounts had interest that indicated that it was only $222, or might have been $220,000 that stayed in the account for the period between 2021 and 2022, and that several million had gone walkies. But is that misappropriation of funds? Or is it, which I think is far more likely, that they move money around? Because, and I made this point when we covered this some months ago, and it's really rather interesting that the Mail, Johnny come lately, has come to the table so late and so inadequately. But they're better than the Times of India. It took them 25 or 30 years to discover that what I had said in 1992 about Harry and William having Indian blood as a result of Diana being descended from an Anglo-Indian by the name of Eliza Keogh was actually accurate.
Let's pause here. Lady C often is very accurate. She's knowledgeable in history. She's an author. She's written many books, and I find her very credible. Her full name, Lady Colin Campbell. You could see her channel. She's very well known, and she also was in that Jungle program, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So if you don't know who Lady C is, that might help remind some of you.
I am constantly befuddled as to how inadequate the news is. But according than 6 million has gone over the last 2 years. Well, it's more than 6 million. And according to them, the discovery has prompted speculation over what has happened to the Sussex's missing millions. It's not the Sussex's missing millions, it is the Archewell's missing millions. There's a difference between a company and an individual. I'm sure Jonathan Rothermere knows it. He owns the Mail. I'm sure Liz Hartley, who heads up the legal department, knows it. I certainly know it. It is understood, and I'm reading, Archewell believes its records that only declared $2,911 are correct. I think I'm taking a guess now, and I don't really like guessing, but I think a likely explanation is that Harry and Meghan themselves put in I don't remember what the sums were, I'm sorry, I'm really not good on math, but I think it was about 10 or 12 or 11 million, and then it was reduced. But that money was never sitting in Archewell's account earning interest, because I don't remember what the interest was the previous year, but it was negligible as well. So what they obviously do is they put in the money, make a big show. Harry and Meghan are very good at making a big show. Look at me, I'm a big shot. Maybe spelled with an I. Naughty me. But they're big shots. We have all this money. I think they had about 10 or 12 million that they've been playing around with. I said this some time ago. What is interesting is...
Let's pause right there because she said playing around with. And I think that just reminded me other programs that I've heard where people have done deep dives on these charities. And I know the Royal Grift did some investigative work as well. And what I recall from between Lady C and the Royal Grift, who has another YouTube channel you should check out, is they were saying how these charities are set up kind of almost, I mean, what people who've been really digging deep into this, they look like shell companies because they're used to do fundraising, to put money in, but some of the charity rules only require that 5% is the minimum you have to give to the charity, which means that 95% can be kept for administrative fees. And the type of charity that Prince Harry and Meghan set up with Archewell was that type of charity in Delaware, where you were, as the organizer, entitled to keep 95% of the revenue. And I think that's what's coming to light, for example, with the Naomi Campbell case, is that the charity was set up in a way, but they were using it to fund expenses that were not allowed by the charity, to fund the luxury lifestyle. And people have been screaming on YouTube through these various channels, including Lady C, about how the Archewell Foundation was doing something similar, that, if all these funds weren't, all of these trips and these travels and these extravagant lifestyles, including the mansion in Montecito, which was owned by a Russian oligarch, or is owned, we don't know because it's in a trust, that they were using the charity to funnel money to cover the lifestyle. Because we see, the lack of trust that the public has with the amount of lies and the misrepresentations. And so it gives a lot more credibility that, either through ignorance or negligence or potentially intentional fraud, allegedly, that these charities can be mismanaged. But one last point before we get back to Lady C is that it's interesting to me because to connect these charities and why I'm so interested in them, which is normally a boring and dull subject for most people, and I happen to be an accountant by trade, by the way, maybe that's why I'm more interested, is that the connection to Diddy now, victims out of the new case where there's over 120 victims suing Diddy through the Busby Law Firm and the Ava Law Group in Texas that was announced today was saying that a lot of the payments to keep victims quiet came from these type of charitable organizations. And it's interesting to me because now the rumor is that P. Diddy is being housed in the same jail, if not the same cell, with none other than Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the largest charity fraud because the Silicon Valley Bank scandal, which not only involved the collapse of the bank, there was a lot of talk about people that were involved in these charities that had their money in a big Silicon Valley charity. We had their money at Silicon Valley Bank, including Prince Harry and Meghan. Because if you remember that headline, for those that are interested, Prince Harry and Meghan supposedly had a lot of money at Silicon Valley Bank. So all of these things are tied together more than you think. And that's why the focus of my channel is kind of uncovering some of the mysterious connections on the accounting side, because since I have that expertise to understand exactly what she's talking about. Hopefully you do too and find it interesting, but let's continue.
That the mail in between saying how wonderful Harry and Meghan are have run with this story. So maybe they're trying to induce Harry to settle rather more quickly than he's settling. Maybe they're pointing out to him in a very subtle way, Harry, you know, you're not squeaky clean, and if you don't settle quickly and on terms that are reasonably acceptable to us, your reputation might suffer. And may I say, I'm going to give tip a wink to Harry. Harry, don't believe a thing of it when they tell you. And you will be a friend of the Mail, and we will go out of our way to be nice about you. That's what they promised me in 1990, whenever it was settled. 1995? Yes, 1995.
Anyway, that concludes the commentary that I wanted to share with you. I hope you found it interesting and enjoy this. If you'd like to hear more, I would definitely appreciate it. Hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye for now.